seriously, what the hell?
Hey, Carl here with Columbia Water Gardens, and today I am in Coloma, Wisconsin, population 451, because I am out here building an amazing, epic recreational swim pond for a customer deep in the woods. I'm out here with Chris Yaks from Aquascapes of Michiana, Jeff Michaels of Pondering Waters in Michigan, just outside of Detroit, and I am here with Damian Drager. It's his project, 4D Exteriorscapes, and yesterday I spent the day in the Wisconsin Dells, and today I'm out building a pond. Enjoy the video. So this is the beginning of our project. As you can see, it's quite large. We got Jeff from Pondering Waters in the bottom left-hand corner. The pond has been excavated and we're ready to start pulling liner. On the back side, you can see aqua blocks that are all pre-assembled, a little over 70 of them. You got Chris from Aquascapes of Michiana. And the machines we have are quite powerful and really nice and comfortable. Two Cat 308s and two 279Ds. Here's the boulders that we've got delivering to the job site. Decent sized rocks, nothing completely unmanageable. In this pile here, you probably are averaging about 600 to 800 pounds a piece. In this pile over here, maybe 12 to 1500 pounds a piece. And we have been staging them around both sides. So you're probably looking at these huge sand piles on both sides here. We're going to be elevating the grade, as you can see over here where the skid steers are. And so as we elevate that grade, the pond becomes deeper. Pretty basic concept there. When we got here on Tuesday, the first order of business was to remove tree stumps and to clear the land. So this area, it's hard to imagine right now, but this area was completely wooded out, just like you see over here in the background. And speaking of tree stumps, there's piles of them everywhere. Here's a pile of tree stumps over there on the other side of the rock pile, and just kind of scattered throughout the woods. One of the cool things that I don't get to experience coming from California is the woods like this. There are deer that have been passing through, inspecting our job site. Through the woods over here, you can kind of make out a little bit of a red building. That's an Amish farm. A huge field on the other side. It's really an incredibly beautiful place. And yesterday, it rained all day long. So we went out to the Wisconsin Dells and checked out a resort, and I'll put pictures up here in the video. It's such a cool place. They got tree houses all lined all around the pond. It's a natural recreational swim pond that they've had running for some time now, I think 2 years, and they're building another one. And so the trend right now is huge for people to be building these recreational swim ponds. And this particular pond that we're building is a permaculture pond, because the pond is going to be fed in a couple different ways. Let me set my coffee down so I can show you. That time zone difference is a bit of a kicker here. So you see this farmhouse over here. They're going to be collecting rainwater as a source of water to complement the water that they're going to be coming off of the pond that we're building on the other side of the dirt pile over here. And they're going to be growing wasabi in the wetland filters, which are going to be located on the other side of the sand pile over here. They're going to be doing all sorts of other edibles that are going to be coming out of that. This whole area here is going to be transformed into a living, breathing permaculture farm, and it'll eventually be turned into an Airbnb with several homes on the property. So think of it like a site, you know, for adults to go and visit and share all these different things. So it'll be kind of nicely spread out. Everyone's going to have their privacy. A lot of buildings out here, and this will definitely be a place that I'm going to be coming back to visit with my wife once things are ready to go. One last thing. I'm going to take you around the back side of the dirt berm over here and kind of give you a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes of where your filtration is going to be going. In this general area here, like right over here and on the other side, we'll have 2 wetland filters. You're going to have 2 intake bays in these 2 coves that are kind of carved out over here. The reason being is that your prevailing wind goes from west to east, and we want to let that wind help us in the surface tension of the water and drawing water over towards the intake bays. Of course, we're going to have jets blowing the water and aeration and all these other things, but as you can see right now, this is going to probably be the last time you're going to see the bottom of this pond here. Liner, underlayment, rocks. That's all in tall order for today. I got to get to work. So I was over here talking with one of the guys, and I asked him, have you ever set a piece of liner this big? And he goes, well, you know, we just put it on the edge of the pond and we went full send. And I'm like, well, this weighs a lot. This is an enormous amount of weight. And so there is a better way to do it. What we're going to do is we're going to take this galvanized steel fence post, and we're going to put a strap on both sides of the fence post like this. Put it on the other side, detach it here, lift it with the machine, and using the machine, we're just simply going to unroll it really slow and easy. You're going to see that in the drone footage of this video. But one of the common questions is how do we find the center line? How do we know where to place it, where to unroll it from? And so that's what's really important. Let's go back to the pond real quick. So I had Brad mark the dead center of the pond, but this liner is 50 feet wide, and we need to know exactly where 25 feet, half the width of that liner sits. So Brad, you just set the center line of the pond, is that right? Yes. Okay. So what we need to do now is we need to get maybe some marking paint. And we need to marking paint down where the center line is, 25 feet in from there. And that's actually where we're going to unroll it from. And you guys are going to see that. Now the liner, it's a 50 by 100, and it's folded in 5-foot widths. And that 5-foot width is going to kind of get you roughly to where those lines need to meet up. So let's take a look at this real quick. When you get a liner, you got to be so careful. I'm really just nicking the edge of the tape so that we don't run the risk of puncturing liner as we're untaping it, you know. This is 45 mil EPDM rubber manufactured by Firestone, and it comes with a 20-year warranty against defects in workmanship. This is pretty much all we use when we're lining our ponds, and it's strong, it's pliable, it can be patched. So it's not uncommon when we're working with large projects and small projects for there to be an accident with a rock coming down wrong, or maybe some sort of a pinch point between boulders as we're rocking the pond in. And that's not a problem because we can very easily rough it up and patch it just like our bicycle tire kits when we were kids. So here's our liner. Come on up here close. We got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Did you see that? So what we have to do is we have to find where the absolute center of this is. And sometimes they fold it right, and it looks like they did. So this is going to be our fold point here. Let's see how this is coming back in. You can't trust this every time from the factory, because especially with a piece of liner this big, there absolutely is a chance that it's going to be folded wrong. And this one here, she looks pretty good. So this is the center of our 25 feet right here, because it wants to fold out this way and it also wants to lay down this way. So 25 feet in from the center line in of that pond is exactly where we're going to line this up. And when we unfold it, that comes the bigger problem. How do you shape a liner this size? Well, when this stuff starts to set down on the ground, it's extremely heavy and it forms a vacuum, really. The weight of it sucking down forms a vacuum. And when I was over at Damien's shop on the way over to this project, the one thing I asked him to make sure that he brought was what? Leaf blowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn a leaf blower on, just put it on nice, a really low setting, and we're going to blow air underneath the liner, and several of us can very easily lift and pull and shape this and put it into place. So check this out. You're going to see the drone footage of this thing going down. You're going to see maybe a little bit of time-lapse footage of us stretching and pulling it out. And then at the end, I'm going to come back at you and I'm going to talk to you about all the problems that you saw us experience in that part of the video, because a lot of pond building is building on the fly. Stay tuned.